Okay, this is a quick introduction, a little pre-lab for the exploding cart lab. Here's the setup. You can see that we've got 2 carts there, also 2 photo gates, one here and one here. And then we've taped some paper to those carts so that as they slide, they go through, whoops, did it hit? They go through the photo gate and you know, the photo gate, you can see the little red light going on and off, will pick up and detect as it goes by. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put these 2 carts, let me show you when you push this little button, that snaps out of there, very exciting, and to put it back in you just push that and hook it again. And so that's what's going to cause the explosion between these 2 carts. So make sure that's facing the other cart, that they're lined up on the track. And then you can do a little practice run. Take something like a ruler or a pencil and you're just going to whack that. And then boom, they explode apart from each other. Now you can see my cart went off the track here, which means my wheels were not lined up in the grooves of the track. So you want to make sure you test it a couple times, kind of wiggle it, make sure that it's really in there tight and that these 2 things are touching and that the cords are out of the way before you start. Then what you should see on this screen is blocked and unblocked, and I'm putting my hand by the photo gate here, and it should be changing, right? Is it changing the words blocked and unblocked? You know, so you want to test and make sure that both your photo gates are working before you start. That's the screen it should be on when you start, and then you're pretty much ready to go. You can just go ahead and hit the play button, just like normal. Then it's ready to go. Have a lab partner, or you just set off the explosion, and then you can hit stop and you'll have some data on the screen. Now I'm going to show you here what I need to do, and can you see the screen okay on that?
A little bit okay.
Is that good? Can you move it in a little bit? No, that looks good. You can just kind of actually come a little closer like that. Okay, perfect. All right, and so what we're going to do is you'll have these 2 graphs. We're not too concerned with the graphs. We want to go over to the data table, and it's this little tiny thing up here that looks like a data table. And you can see now I have some data. I'm going to grab this bottom scroll bar and I'm going to scroll all the way over until I see meters per second for gate 1 and meters per second for gate 2. They're over here, you'll see. They're the only 2 columns with meters per second. And those are the velocities you want. So my gate 1, there's my velocity, and my gate 2, there's the velocity. So again, I'm going to show you how to get there. If we're back over here on the graph, I'm going to click right here, this little guy that looks like a table. I'm going to take this bar and scroll it over to the side, or you can use the arrow key. And you can see there's gate 1, gate 2, so here's my velocity. Here's my velocity. And that is going to go on your lab, I think, on the back. Yeah, or those of you that are digital, just down on the data table. So you can see cart 1 and cart 2, and you can just follow along with the gates, call gate 1 cart 1 and gate 2 cart 2, and that should get you along the way. You are going to choose your own mass, and you can see on the top we only want 1 trial where the carts are both empty. After that, you can borrow from your other equipment because you've been doing the other lab as well. There's some bars here. Very good. And you can just set those right on top and change the mass. And then you just want to note that here how much mass that is. Remember that each cart by itself is 500 grams, which is 0.5. And then each bar that you put on top is another 500 grams. So just keep track of the masses that you are adding. And then the only other thing that you want to make sure is that when you are doing this lab, you're going to run, each time you run a trial, you want to do it 2 times. You want to do it once with the cars facing one way, and then take them and switch them just in case your table is not level or your track is just angled funny. You want to take them and turn them around and switch them so they explode going the other direction, so that you can account for whether or not the, yeah, there you go, that's fine. whether or not the track is angled. And so just try it out and make sure your velocities are fairly close. If you feel like your track is level, that may not be necessary, but if your carts are rolling when no one is even touching them, you may need to do that.